Hi, everybody. Great to be here, and I'm pleased to have with me Richard Sprague, who's the director of Dreamphones. Now, originally we were supposed to sit down and talk at CES, but they had so much going on that we ended up rescheduling and wanted to sort of sit back in a more quiet environment to chat about Dreamphones, what they're doing, and what's going on. To get us in the mood, I got my CES badge on just so we feel like we're at CES. Richard, it's great to see you today.
Great to see you too. And I apologize that we didn't have much time at CES, but like you say, it was a zoo.
It
And
was
we had
crazy.
just nonstop people coming back and forth. And I don't think we would have been able to have the kind of a good quality conversation then anyway, frankly speaking.
So, Richard, for those out here who don't know, tell us a little bit about Dreamphones.
We're a brand new company. The research has been is several decades old. We have one of the co-founders is a professor at MIT. And it's based on the principle of the vagus nerve. Now, I don't know if you or your audience has heard much about the vagus nerve, but it's one of the most important nerves that connects the brain to the rest of the body. Basically, as you know, your body has a voluntary nervous system, that is how you control when I want to move my arms, when I want to do things that I know what I'm doing. And then there's the involuntary nervous system that handles things like breathing and your heart rate and things that you don't have direct control over. When the voluntary system and the nervous and the involuntary system are out of whack, that's when you feel anxiety. You might have, you'll feel stress. You might have trouble sleeping. Every one of us knows kind of what that feels like to kind of have your heart rate just go up and maybe you're a little bit tense or something. That's driven by the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve goes from, the brain to like all different parts of your body. The most important part actually is it terminates in the gut. And so a lot of like stomach upset, a lot of the kind of feelings that when you feel like butterfly in your stomach, that's all caused because the vagus nerve is directing that, and there's that difference between the voluntary and the involuntary nervous system. It
Okay.
turns out that it's possible to manipulate the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is just like any other nerve in the body. It relies on electrical signals. And if you apply a very small electrical signal exactly the right way to the vagus nerve, you can reset your nervous system. And so there's been a lot of research that's been done on this. We're the first product that's making that possible at a consumer price and in a normal, in a headphone form factor that anybody can use. The basic principle is that you will put this on your head and just for maybe 10, 15 minutes a day, it will apply the very small electrical stimulation in exactly the right frequency and exactly the right intensity, so that you can draw that voluntary system and the voluntary and involuntary nervous systems back together again and make you feel calm.
That's amazing. Um, so when you were at CES, was this, the current version, was this new that you were showcasing?
Yep. We're actively developing new and this new product right now. I can show you a little bit more closely if I can bring up the camera. See this? These are ordinary headphones. They're Bluetooth headphones. I can listen to music if I want to. But if I play, we have a special app that you can set a few different kind of controls as like a playlist. And when you put this on your head, on your ears, you can see there's like, can you see that? There's like two little probes. They're completely painless, but they just sit on, in your ear right here.
Right.
And this is one of the places in the body where the vagus nerve terminates. It's pretty easy then to apply a small electrical current there to get that vagus nerve stimulated. And you just do it by putting on headphones like this. And then I turn it on, and then I can, there's an app where I can manipulate exactly like, am I trying to get better sleep? Am I trying to calm down? Am I trying to just soothe myself? Am I in this? And you can set, various different intensities and a bunch of other things like that. So
Okay.
that's what we're working on.
Fascinating. So who are Dream Phones really for? Who benefits? How do they feel the biggest difference?
So it's for anybody who wants to be able to have a little bit more control over their stress levels. Like I said, if you are having problems because like you might have a stressful day at work, a lot of us, like maybe after lunch, just sit down and for like about in a short 10-minute session, it will massage that vagus nerve and get the afternoon started up again for you, so you'll feel a little bit more energy. I wear it sometimes when I'm having trouble sleeping. So like I'll wake up in the middle of the night, I'll put this thing on and just run like a 5 minute session, and poof, it knocks me out. We have actually did a study with a large clinical, like a hospital, where we did several dozen people to measure the exact effect that this has. And we're going through the peer review process right now to make this be something that we can publicize more. But the results were amazing. Like 50% improvements in the level of stress that somebody feels, big improvements in their ability to sleep, all those sorts of things that you get based on, it's pretty well established science that the vagus nerve has an effect on those things. And what we've got now is a technology that lets you be able to manipulate that.
What's the most common reaction when someone tries this for the first time?
One of the things that I think people notice is, especially, this was very popular at CES because people are walking around, people are having, there's a lot going on and it's a
A
lot to
lot
take
going
in.
on.
And so we had no problem getting people to just kind of sit down in our booth and take a couple minutes break. It's a little bit like you'll notice that your heart rate goes down by quite a bit, and you'll feel a lot more settled just in a 5 minute session. That's what we were doing at CES. We put it on the fastest play mode. And you could wear an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or something and just watch your heart rate just go down as the two nervous systems settle into each other, and you'll just feel a sense of calm.
And the noise issue at CES wasn't a problem?
The noise is not really the issue.
Right.
You're wearing headphones, and the the main thing that we're doing is just stimulating that nerve. Um, you can use this to listen to music, and of course, it's just it's another high quality headphone. One of the things actually that we find that's useful about this is that because it's in a headphone form factor, and we're the only ones who are we've got a headphone form factor like this. People will not think you're doing something weird. So you can get transcranial stimulation devices, and there are things where you wear this like weird thing on your head, or you can get things that like pinch your ear and you'll just kind of look weird with a wire hanging down. Whereas this looks like you're just, sitting on the bus or something, just listening to music like the rest of the people.
Getting calm in ways people don't imagine.
Yeah.
You said when you put it on, you put it on for like 5 minutes or something. But how quickly do you feel an effect, or do most people typically feel an effect?
I mean, you'll feel it. You can set the intensity, and everyone, their bodies respond a little differently. Some people are a little more sensitive to. It's kind of a little tickling feeling in your ear, and you can make that be more or less intense. When you set it on the more intense form, then you'll really feel something is going on in your ear. If you set it to be less intense, generally speaking, it's on a scale from 1 to 10. Most people can't detect it below, say, 3 or 4, and that's kind of the default setting that we'll use. I usually put it at like a 7 because I want to really feel that kind of like that feeling, but and also because I'm used to it now.
Yeah.
And I'll notice, I'll just watch my heart rate just drop by a couple beats per minute, right as I'm doing it.
So let's go back to CES for a second. I'd love to hear a bit about who you were talking to, who's coming up to the booth, who's your target audience, and what were the reactions?
So we're, how CES is. There are just so many different things you can look at, and there are so many like really cool products. We can talk about more about that. But the typical person who came to our booth was, like I said, somebody who's interested in some kind of new technology, health tech related, that is an affordable price point that anybody can use, that's easy to understand. And so we were in the same hall as a lot of other exhibits of people showing, different kinds of wearables, different kinds of light diagnostics, anything that makes it so that somebody can get a little bit better control over their body using some of the latest consumer electronics devices. Some of the people we talked to were people that have had long periods where they've had trouble sleeping. So
Mhm.
that was a big attraction. Some of our booth was, we mentioned the sleep studies that we've done that show that it can do a real improvement in sleep. And a lot of people have sleep problems. So this is just another simple kind of device. One of the nice things about this for sleep, by the way, is that we don't actually recommend that you wear it while you're sleeping. it can be a little uncomfortable to have headphones on when you're, laying on your pillow. And one of the nice things about this is that you don't have to be asleep. So, and it only takes a, 10, 15-minute session. So what a lot of people do, like I do, is just, sit up for a minute and then let this thing calm you down and then, take it off and now you'll fall asleep. So we had a lot of people that were interested in it as a sleep device. And then other people who are just, like I said, after they've been walking around for a long time, you just you're kind of losing your energy. This is a little pick me up. So we had a lot of people who were there for that reason, and a lot of happy people after they left. That was nice to see.
It's good. Now, how do the dream phones compare to manual techniques for vagus nerve stimulation?
The idea of stimulating the vagus nerve, especially like through the ear, goes back thousands of years. Chinese acupuncture has, this is one of the meridian points that people have been using for a long time. The problem with manual manipulation is that, of course, it takes a lot of training, and you need to have somebody with that training who knows how to, who knows how to do that. But it's a very effective way to get the vagus nerve. The co-founder, Dr. Robert Desmion at MIT, has been studying the vagus nerve and the biophysics of stimulating it electrically for probably 20 or 30 years. So he knows a lot about this sort of thing. And he also understands like the difference between, the different types of frequencies that you need to apply, the different intensities, the exact placement. All those sorts of things are things that we've modeled out and we've spent a lot of time getting it just right. So, it's that combination of factors that makes it a real interesting way to be able to improve your sense of well-being.
I'd love to, one of the things I love talking to people about is, especially when you've been immersed in CES, talking to people that have come by your booth and giving demos. What excited you? What caught your attention at CES this year?
CES there's always so many cool things, and if you've been around the industry for a long time, you'll realize that there's no way to summarize all the cool stuff you saw. I enjoyed looking at some of the robots. There's a lot of that. But one of the things I'd also, I sort of caution is that uh, last year at CES and definitely this year, you had a lot of products that would just slap the word AI on top of it, and so you had a bird feeder with AI. You have a toilet with AI, and that was kind of the thing people did. And I thought that that was probably a little bit overdone for some of the exhibits. In terms of health tech, which is the thing that I was mostly interested in, I saw a number of things that that were interesting. Um, for example, things that let you, like for example, I remember seeing somebody has a way to make a kombucha maker. So like an
Mhm.
electronic way to brew kombucha, which is I've always been interested in, healthy eating, and that was something that again combines like robotics with something that can improve your health. And what else did I see? Lots of other new wearable kind of things. One of the booths actually was near us was like bionic legs. So
Hmm.
did you see this? That was some kind of attachment that you put on your knees, and
It's called like the exoskeleton.
like an exoskeleton, yeah.
Yes.
And it's like $4,000, so you have to be pretty serious about wanting it. But it seemed like that was a pretty cool idea.
I'm constantly amazed every year. There's always something in the zeitgeist, and health tech was really, everything around health tech this year. There's a lot of crowds, a lot of interest,
Yeah,
and we've come a long way since the last 5 or 6 years, where it was just wearables. Now we've expanded,
yeah.
and it's more refined and more specialized. What's ahead for Dream Phones in 2026?
Well, we are really just getting started. So we're looking forward to bringing this technology to as many people as we can. We're starting out making it available direct to consumer, so you can go to our website and order them. And we're also talking, some of the things that we found great interest in. There are a lot of people from major retailers who approached us at the booth, so we're following up with them to see if maybe we can get this thing sold through retail someplace. So we're real excited about that. And then Dr. Desmion has lots of other ideas for new extensions that we can put on this, including like new, better playlists. So you'll be able to get software upgrades that make the the current product even better. So we're looking at lots of things like that. The people that the other co-founders are really good at manufacturing health tech type of devices. So we're also looking at ways to integrate this with other types of health tech products. Obviously, you want it to work with your Apple, your watch, or a Fitbit, things like that. But the more we can close the loop on actually listening to your heart rate, listening to how the vagus nerve is responding, and then adjusting the frequency that we apply to your vagus nerve. The more we can do that, the more we can make a personalized experience that will be, even more effective.
Great. Now, where can people learn more or demo Dream Phones or get more information?
The best place to start is our website, dreamphones.ai. So the normal price is $699. We will also offer the price at CES pricing of $299 as a special to the first 20 people who respond, and using the code biohack26. So if you go to our website, you can get it now at a special price, and learn more about the information. We also have a book available that we'll be updating that you can find on Amazon. But learn all that stuff. Just come to our website, dreamphones.ai.
And the information will be right below us. Richard, thank you so much. It's been great talking to you today. And um, thank you.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah. No, and I look forward to being able to show you this thing in person. It really is amazing, the kind of the sense of uh, calm that you get after applying this just for a couple of minutes.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you.